Hi there, Chris here with another fresh tip for you all. In this video we are going to continue our look at painting Necromunda bases, and this time we are going to take a look at creating rust on the base in a fairly quick fashion. I'm going to use some Typhus Corrosion to get things going. As you can see here, the model has already been primed in a lead belcher spray and we had already applied the hazard marking, and so now we're going to grime up the base. I'm going to use Typhus Corrosion here. I'm just going to slap a little, fairly generous amount onto the base, and then really quickly here, I'm going to use my t-shirt, a spare t-shirt I have. I usually just use that lying around as I wipe my brushes off on it. But very simply, you could use a paper towel or napkin, what have you, whatever you have on hand to wipe that excess off. And I also use a bit of a stippling motion as I draw the excess away. Here you can see I'm applying another layering down onto the base. And again, I'm going to use a t-shirt here just to draw it away and draw the excess, just to give a slight texturing as well. I'm not drawing too much of the Typhus Corrosion off, but a fairly generous amount is being pulled out. I do like Typhus Corrosion because when it dries, you can see there's this little slight texturing in the areas, and it gives you that griminess, and I really like that. So next we are going to use some Fire Dragon Bright as well as some Rhinox Hide. We're going to slap these onto our palette. I'm going to use some sponge again. With this kind of sponge, you can find it in most hardware stores in the finishing paintbrush section, or any old packaging for miniatures and what have yous. I tear off a little bit, apply it into the tweezers. You could use your fingers if you don't have the little tweezers, it doesn't really matter. And as you can see, I'm stippling the sponge into both little dollops of paint, getting a bit of a blend going on, but not blending them and mixing them, just allowing them as we stipple across. We are going to get slight blends as we move the sponge around. And of course, we're sticking with our stippling motion as we do so, so it does create a color mixture as well as giving us two of the pure colors as well. So we got the darker brown and we got the brighter orange, but we also have mixtures occurring on that surface as well. And so you basically move around in whatever areas and just kind of build up. You can do the entire base, but I figured less is more, and so I wanted to go for a pretty stylized type of look here. Again, this is a really fast and easy way to create rust on a base. Once it's dry, you can see here that it's fairly convincing, and it was a fairly non-painful kind of way to achieve this variation in rust tones. Next, we're going to use Necron Compound. This is the dry from Citadel. I'm going to use a large Citadel brush for the dry brushing of this. This is basically a half-inch brush, flat, to achieve this. And just very, very lightly, I'm going to hit the high points of this base. And as you can see right away, the Necron Compound just catches those edges and brings forth all those details. Again, it's really, really fast. You can see how we just simply go in through and just catch those edges and bring it out. And, we get some definition. It brings out those high points and brings all those little details forward. Again, pushes the rust around, and, it's a fairly convincing looking base, and relatively painless to create. Huge thank you to all my patrons. Without their support, these videos would not be possible. If you're considering Patreon support, click the link in the description below and the varying tiers to support at. Huge thank you. And so, thank you for watching, and take care of those brushes. They will take care of you.